Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 4th February 2022. In this lecture, we are going to see 5 articles which are very much relevant from our UPSC point of view. So now let us see a small introduction regarding those topics. So first topic, it is regarding India-China relations. So already you know that across this LAC region, that is line of actual control, there was military standoff since May 2020. And we went for several rounds of talks between India and China, but they didn't yield a good result. And this article exclusive talking about this Dipsang Plains. Okay, so this is very important from your international relations point of view. And next topic, it is about winter is here. So this article which is mainly talking about is Winter Olympics. Okay, so here India is mainly boycotting this Winter Olympics. So we need to understand what is the reason. And this article is important from your international relations point of view, which mainly comes in a GS paper 2 again. And next topic is about Chandrayaan 3. Chandrayaan 3, it is a space mission. Okay, so it is a space mission of ISRO, which is mainly going to be set for launch in August. And you need to know about this Chandrayaan 2, okay, and why this Chandrayaan 2 it is a failure project. So those are things that you need to know. So this will be important from your science and technology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is about exposure to a single nasal droplet can cause COVID-19. So this article, which is mainly talking about recent study. So recent study says that even if you are coming across contact with a single nasal droplet also, then it will lead to the coronavirus infection. Okay, so because of this transmission rate of this COVID-19 is very high. So we need to know about the study. So this will be important from your health point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic, it is about purchasing managers index. Already you know that this index, it is separate list for manufacturing sector and as well as service. So it is talking about services. So this article, it is important from GS paper 3 point of view under economy. So apart from these 5 articles, there are 2 articles in your editorial page that will be also important. First one, it is regarding this COVID-19 package. Okay, so why I am not discussing, because so it is your duty to know in your state, the state government which is coming up with which type of steps mainly to control this COVID-19. Okay, so if I say about one state, means it will be not relevant to another state. So it is your responsibility to look after which are the measures taken by your state government to control this COVID-19. And the next one is about taxes. So in yesterday's lecture and day before yesterday's lecture, we studied about this taxes. And even economy faculty servants will be coming up with separate videos of that economic survey highlights and as well as budget highlights. So I'm not going to take that topic. Okay, that will be posted soon in YouTube. So now let's get started with our discussion and let us see the motivational quote. So this quote I like the most. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Okay, so this is very much learned from our UPSC point of view, because so whether you are at a 0 level, already you had completed your first attempt or second attempt, so again you have to start where you are. So even if you are at 0 level, you have to start from 0 level. So from 0 level, you can start your preparation with NCRTs. And next one is use what you have. So whichever the resources that you have, so please focus on that. So rather than reading of for 10 books for one subject, you can take one book and you can read that 10 times. Then efficiency will be increased and it will be also helpful for your memory as well. And next one is do what you can. Okay, if you are listening to the topper strategies or topper interviews, some people they will be saying that I will be reading 20 hours a day or 18 hours a day or 16 hours a day. But based on your capability, okay, based on your strength and weakness, you have to do. Okay, you have to do, because no one knows better than you regarding yourself, right? So you have to do what you can. You should not take much stress. Okay, reading 16 hours, 18 hours, it will be hectic, and whenever you are sitting for the long hours, the productivity also decreased. So take gaps within your study time. Okay, study timetable, you have to make a timetable like there should be the enough breaks that will give you some stress relief, and as well that will give you some relief, and that will be helpful for your refreshness as well. So this is the quote today. And now let us try to talk about the first topic, a border move that will only bolster China. So title says a border move that will only bolster China. So this article is talking about India-China relations. So we are sharing boundary with China, right? India, which has boundary with China. So in the three sectors, in the western sector, in the central sector, and in the eastern sector, we have disputes between India and China, right? So regarding this LAC region, okay, since May 2020 onwards, there is a standoff that is mainly seen here, and due to this standoff, we also saw there was Galwan Valley incident. So in this Galwan Valley incident, about 20 soldiers, they lost their life as well. So this article especially focusing on this Dipsang plains. So now let us try to understand this topic in a very great detail. So this will be very important. So if you're talking about central theme, it mainly says that the attempt to de-link the strategically important area of Dipsang from ongoing Ladakh border crisis is worrying. So regarding this Dipsang, there is no proper resolving of the issue that is mainly seen. Actually, this Dipsang, it is one of the important and strategic area for India. So if there is no resolution that is happening or de-escalation is happening, so that will be finally affecting India. So this is some central idea of this article. So if you're talking about India-China relations, okay, if you're talking about India-China relations, we need to go back to 1962. So why this 1962? At that time we had war with China, that is also called as Sino-India War or India-China War of 1962. So in that war, what happened? Indian army confronted with the problem of bodies. So on one side, they need to fight against the Chinese soldiers, and on another side, the Indian soldiers who lost their life, these bodies, they need to be collected. So there are around 100 Indian soldiers are lying in the areas around 8 kilometers to 6 kilometers inside this Chinese 1960 claimed the line in Ladakh. For example, it is the line here. So this is the Chinese line. For example, it is the India's line, because there is no proper perception. Okay, there is a different perception that is seen because this terrain which mainly contains mountains, right? So because of this, there is no proper demarcation line between India and China. So that is leading to this border confrontation. Okay, so here from the 8 to 16 kilometers inside this Chinese area also, so there was bodies of these Indian soldiers mainly found. So collecting of these bodies of fallen soldiers after the war through mutual consent, it is an established military practice, and the Indian Red Cross wrote to its Chinese counterpart in 1963. So after this war and during this war, so many Indian soldiers, they lost their life, and those bodies, they mainly fall down and they mainly enter into this Chinese territory, that is the area which is claiming by this Chinese. Okay, so because of this, to collect the bodies of the foreign soldiers, so there was a mutual consent. Okay, mutual consent mainly established in the military practice, and even Indian Red Cross, which one of the branch which is present in the China counterpart also, they took some steps. Chinese turned down the request, stating that the bodies had been properly buried. So on another side, Chinese said that the bodies of those soldiers, they had been properly buried, and there is no need to send any Indian parties in these disputed areas, because already those bodies have been burned. So there is no need of sending Indian parties to these disputed areas. So as most of Indian soldiers, they were to be cremated, not buried, the issue was again taken up with the Chinese. Okay, so actually Indian soldiers' bodies who mainly served India, so those bodies will be cremated, not buried. So it is again taken up with the Chinese. But in August, Chinese agreed to carry out cremation and handed over the ashes to the Indian Red Cross. So after this war and after this burying of these soldiers, so those ashes are given mainly to the Indians, okay, through this Red Cross. And finally, the cremation was done. So when Red Cross requested for the Indian representatives to be present during this ceremony, so Chinese cancelled the arrangements altogether. Okay, so here in this context, here whenever this Indian Red Cross, they got this ashes of this Indian soldiers, so when Indian Red Cross requested Indian representatives to be present during the ceremony, Chinese, they didn't allow it. So in its memo on September 16, 1963, Chinese foreign minister accused Indian government to trying to claim to those territories through these devices. So after that, after this war in September, what happened? Chinese foreign minister, he mainly accused that India mainly want to lay claim of these territories through this device. Okay, by using this method, so India want to claim this area. So this is a statement which is given by the China. So now if you're talking about at present, and from May 2020 onwards, we are seeing there was standoff that is happening across this LAC region, and there is no proper resolution of the issue, right? There is no proper de-escalation. So in the recent television interview, Indian Army chief argued that 1 out of 5 or 6 friction points in the Ladakh, so 5 have been solved. So what are the friction points? What are the disputed areas between India and China at is present? So out of those 6, there was 5 are resolved, and 1 should be resolved, and then that one is Dipsang area. So if you are talking about those friction points, they include Dipsang Plains, Galwan Valley. Next one is Hot Spring, Skogra, north bank of Pongyongso Lake, and Kailash Range and Demchok. So these are the some frictional points. And he mainly referred to this hot springs or patrolling point 15. So the only one discussed in the last round of talks with the Chinese. So recently last 14th round of talks is mainly held. In that 14th round, they mainly talked about this hot springs and as well as the patrolling point 15. And next one is this attempt mainly made to de-link the strategically important area of Dipsang, okay, from the ongoing Ladakh border issues is worrying. So whenever you want to go for de-escalation in this Dipsang area, actually this area, it is a very much strategically important for India. So in this area, the border crisis, which is a mainly worrying thing for India. And if you are talking about some facts regarding this Dipsang Plains, so it is a flat terrain. So plains means we can say flat area, and this is the area which is mainly classified as army as SSN, that is subsector north. And this subsector north, which will provide access to the Central Asia through this Karakoram Pass. So in this area, by using this Karakoram Pass, we can reach the Central Asia. And if you're talking about this area, a few kilometers southeast, okay, a few kilometers southeast, we are having an important strip of this Daulat Beg Oldi. So this Daulat Beg Oldi is one of the recent infrastructure project which came up by India, okay, and this area it is very important because recently Chinese army mainly blocked this Indian patrols since early 2020 at this place, and this place is also called as Y junction or bottleneck, okay. So because of this stopping the access or blocking of these Indian patrols in this region, it also further denied the access of 5 patrolling points: patrolling point 10, patrolling point 11, 12, 11A, 12 and 13. So we're talking about standoff not only happened in this 2020, but even earlier in 2013 also we saw the standoff in this region. So Indian forward camp is a new patrolling base with a permanent patrol developed there, and that was mainly created after a 22-day long standoff at Y Junction in April 2013. So what happened in this April 2013 also? So the new patrolling base of India, okay, and we came with a permanent patrol deployed there, and we also created that after 22 long day standoff at this Y Junction. So after this Y Junction standoff, we came up with this a new patrolling base at this Y Junction. So since then it mainly observed and as well as stopped Chinese patrols from moving further to Indian side. So whenever we are having this patrolling base at this Y Junction, then it mainly stopped this Chinese patrol which are moving further inside of India. So but PLA troops still managed to get up around 1.5 kilometers short Budsay in this September 2015. So after we came with this a permanent patrolling base in 2013, so by 2015 it also that is PLA Chinese army which also managed to get into around 1.5 kilometers. Okay, so if you are talking about from 2015 to till the current blockade, Indian side was able to access 5 patrolling points and asserting Indian control in that region, and while PLA, that is Chinese army, had been denied access to its claim line late 2000s. Okay, and because of this the status quo had been disturbed. Okay, so this disturbed since early 2020 onwards. Okay, so this is about this topic and why we need this de-escalation in this Depsang region. So what is the significance of this Depsang region? So first one is, Army has always identified Depsang Plains as where it finds itself most vulnerable in Ladakh, devising plans to tackle the major Chinese challenge. Okay, so Army has always identified this area which is a very vulnerable in Ladakh. Okay, and we need to have good control in this region to control these Chinese challenges. So if we're talking about the terrain of this Depsang Plains, it is a flat terrain and we have the Strig Heights and as well as Daulat Beg Oldie. So in this way, this region which mainly provides direct access to this Aksaichen area as well. And this area is very much helpful for mechanized warfare. And China in turn, which already had several developmental projects and they came with multiple load development such that it will provide easy access. It will provide easy access in this area. And okay, so if this Chinese mainly occupying this Depsang Plain means it mainly leads to vulnerable to capture this area. So because of this, it will be having some many challenges for India. So this is gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Indian diplomats to boycott Beijing Games. So this article mainly talking about this Winter Olympics. And there is also one more editorial, that is winter is here. The games in China have taken on political significance domestically and globally. So this article which is talking about Olympics, Winter Olympics. And this article is important from our GS paper to under international relations. Now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if we are talking about why it is in news, now there is a Winter Olympics that going to be held in Beijing. And regarding this, India announced a diplomatic boycott. So India announced a diplomatic boycott of these games. So Ministry of External Affairs said that no Indian official will be present at that opening and as well as closing ceremony of the games. Okay, so this is the diplomatic boycott. So in Ministry of External Affairs said that there will be no Indian official will be present at the opening or closing ceremonies of the games. And this games it is going to be run from today, that is February 4th to February 20. So now let us try to talk about some facts regarding this Winter Olympics. So if I talk about this Winter Olympics, it is a premier competition for sports. Okay, so it is a premier competition for sports that mainly played on ice or snow. So these are the games which are mainly played on ice or snow. So this is called as Winter Olympics. And this Olympics which is mainly held once in every 4 years. And which are the games that mainly played in this ice and as well as snow? For example, ice skating, ice hockey, skiing and as well as figure skating, etc. So these are some popular sports that are mainly played at the Winter Games. And first of all, this Winter Olympics was held in 1924 in France. Okay, and winter sports they were initially played at this Summer Olympics with the 1908 London Olympics hosting 4 figure skating events, and as well as they will be having some figure skating and as well as ice hockey, etc. So these are some important facts that you need to remember regarding this topic. And now let us try to see some more important details. So why Minister of External Affairs which came up with this decision like we are not going to present in the opening and as well as closing ceremony, you have to remember. So apart from this, actually one Indian athlete who qualified for this Winter Olympics is skier Arif Khan. He will take part in both the games and as well as the opening ceremony along with the sport staff. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said in this article. So why this decision which is mainly taken? Because Chinese selected one PLA commander who was one of the participants in this Galvan Valley incident, and he mainly gave some award. So because of this, okay, military honor is mainly given to that so and so person who mainly participated in this Galvan Valley incident. So here this is the one cause of concern, and Minister of External Affairs mainly said that it is regrettable. Okay, so recently in November, India mainly joined Russia in expressing some support for these games. Okay, and they came up with a meeting with the foreign minister of Russia and as well as China. But now already we know that with China we are having a lot of problems regarding the border issue, and we are seeing there is a continuous standoff along this line of actual control. Even though India is supporting these games, but because of this incident, okay, because of this PLA commander uh, got this military honor. Because of this, India mainly came up with this diplomatic boycott. So this is gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic, that is about Chandrayaan 3. Chandrayaan 3 set for launch in August 2022. Okay, so this is about science and technology, and you have to know about what is this Chandrayaan project. So this is very important from your prelims point of view. Actually, this article it is important from your science and technology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that India plans to execute Chandrayaan 3 mission. Okay, India planned to execute this Chandrayaan mission 3 in August. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said by minister in the Lok Sabha. So if we're talking about some details, it mainly says that though the government had stated that mission was scheduled for 2022, that is that the first time a specific month has been announced. Okay, so earlier government said that there is a launch of this Chandrayaan in 2022, and for the first time government made declare that the month, that is in August, we are going for this launch of this Chandrayaan 3. So this Chandrayaan 3, which is a mainly follow-up of this Chandrayaan 2 of July 2019. So actually this Chandrayaan 2, which mainly aimed to land a rover on the lunar south pole. Okay, but what happened here, this mission had been got failed, right? So here this Chandrayaan 2 was sent mainly by the most powerful geosynchronous launch vehicle, that is GSLV Mark 3. Okay, so by using this GSLV Mark 3, so this launching of this Chandrayaan 2 happened. But what happened after this mission, which mainly launched lander name is Vikram, instead of controlled landing, it came up with this crash landing on September 7, 2019. Okay, so because of this crash landing, there was some technical issues which mainly appeared, and that mainly prevented rover, that is Pragyan, from successfully traveling on the surface of the moon. Okay, so this is the issue of this Chandrayaan 2. And based on the learnings of this Chandrayaan 2 and some suggestions mainly made by the national level experts, and they came up with this Chandrayaan 3, and they are going to launch in August 2022. So now let us try to talk about some facts regarding this Chandrayaan 2 mission. So if we are talking about this Chandrayaan 2 mission, so which was lost after it had landed on the dark side of the moon. So on the dark side of moon, instead of soft landing, they went for a harsh landing. So because of this, what happened, there was some technical glitches that appeared, and the rover didn't move on the surface of the moon, right? Scientists mainly used the solar X-ray monitor on board Chandrayaan 2 in September 2019, especially to study the sun. And if you're talking about objective of this Chandrayaan, it was to demonstrate ability of soft landing on this lunar surface, and to operate a robotic rover on the surface. So this is one important objective. First one is soft landing, second one is robotic rover, and next one is this mission mainly consisted of orbiter, and as well as we have lander, we have rover as well. So these are some important things that you need to remember regarding this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding nasal droplet. So title says that exposure to a single nasal droplet can cause COVID-19. Exposure to a single nasal droplet can cause COVID-19. So if you are talking about context, it mainly says that exposure to a single nasal droplet may be sufficient to cause COVID-19 infection. Okay, so it is mainly by the landmark trail of UK. Okay, so in this trail, so many healthy volunteers, they were intentionally given a dose of SARS coronavirus, and they started studying of those people. So if you're talking about details of the study, in this study, this type of collaborative study, it is the first in the world to be performed detailed monitoring over the full course of this COVID-19. That means when the first moment this virus enters into our body, and how this disease progression is happening. And they also studied about what will be the symptoms, the first symptoms that will be developed within very fast after entering this virus into body, and they will be studying about the symptoms on average about 2 days after the contact with the virus. And finally they found that, so whenever the infection is happening, first there will be the infection that is seen in the throat, okay, and the virus will get into peaks. It will take like 5 to 6 days after infection, okay, and later on there will be the more abundant in the nose than compared to that of throat. So initially throat will be affected and later on we can see nose will be affected. So this is gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding PMI, Purchasing Manager Index. So January Purchasing Manager Index, which mainly reflects further easing in service activity. So here we need to know about PMI, and you have to know about the number, okay, that is a number, or we can say like a business activity index. Okay, so now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that India's service sector actively moderated further in January as a new business rose at noticeably slower rate amid the escalation of the pandemic. So this article mainly says that India's service sector, okay, India's service sector activity is mainly moderated, okay, so there is a moderating of India's service sector activity. And because of reintroduction of restrictions and inflationary pressures, the monthly survey, which mainly showed that there is decreasing of this PMI in the service sector. So if we're talking about details, it mainly says that the seasonally adjusted India Service Business Activity Index, which mainly fell to 51.5 in January from 55.5 in December. So from 15.5 to 51.5 there is decrease. We can say there is a slow rate of expansion. According to the survey participants, they are mainly said that, so there is a restrictions of demand. There is decreasing of demand because of restrictions by the fast spread of Omicron variant. Okay, and we also came with night curfews. So because of this, there is a decrease in the demand, and the companies became increasingly worried that the growth would be harmed by intensification of the pandemic, reintroduction of curbs, and as well as inflationary pressures. So because of increasing of number of cases, because of reintroduction of curbs, and as well as inflationary measures, okay, so we can see there will be the increase in the decrease in the demand. Okay, so further these factories or these manufacturing units, they will be going to losses. So if we're talking about some facts regarding this PMI, so it is a survey based measure. So in this survey here, respondents will be mainly asked about the changes in their perceptions about the key business variables. Okay, and when we are comparing with the previous months, so when we are comparing with the previous months, how the economy which is mainly going on, so that is mainly that data will be collected from the respondents under this survey. And the purpose of this PMI is to provide information about current and as well as future business conditions to company decision makers, analysts, and as well as investors. So this data will be very, very important for decision making in the companies and also analysts and as well as investors. So it is mainly calculated separately for manufacturing sector and as well as service sector, and you have to remember this. And the PMI number is 100. So if you see here 50, if it is equal to 50 means there is no contraction, there is no expansion. If it is less than 50 means, okay, if there is a less than 50 means we can say there is decreasing of activity, and if it is more than 50 means there is increasing of activity or expansion. So this is a gist of this topic. And now let us try to see the yesterday's questions. So first question is about Article 13. So the term law in Article 13 includes ordinances issued by the President and state governors. So already you know that ordinance making power of President, which comes under Article 123, and governance will be Article 213. And next one is laws enacted by the Parliament and as well as or state legislature, yes, and notification by the executive, yes, and next one is bylaws, yes. So correct option will be for all the above. And next question, it is regarding this DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, which mainly present in our part 4 of our constitution. So question is, in the Indian context, which of the following laws, programs were formulated by the successive governments in order to implement the directives? So first one is Wildlife Protection Act, yes. Next one is Legal Service Authority Act, yes. 3-tier Panchayat Raj system, yes. Next one is Criminal Procedure Code, yes. So you can get these acts in your Lakshmikant itself. So correct option will be the 4, all the above. And now let us try to see the today's question. So before seeing this today's question, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. If you want to clear this UPSC, I will strongly suggest you to join the 2 courses that we are offering in Rathod's IAS. First one is Prelims Test Series, second one is Mains Answer Writing course. So in this Prelims Test Series, there are about 30 tests which are very important, because you can analyze your preparation, whether you are in a right way or wrong way. And it includes both CSAT and as well as a GS. So there will be 4 CSAT tests and 26 will be your GS. Out of this 26, you are having sectional test, you are having combination test, and you will be having this revision test and as well as full length test. So the test which also includes even India yearbook, budget and as well as economic survey as well. And next one, it is about mains answer writing course. So this mains answer writing is very important. So I will be explaining you what is the importance of this mains answer writing. So here already you know that this UPSC is 3 level stage examination. So first stage is prelims, second stage is mains, and third stage is your interview. So if you see here, prelims will be just qualifying. Even though if you are getting 180 out of 200 or 190 out of 200, or if you are getting 110, it is like equal. So there is nothing like you will be selecting as a merit, not like that. So it is just qualifying paper. And if you are talking about mains, so mains will be there in your hands. So if you are performing good in mains, okay, if you are getting more than like 35 to 40% of mains marks in the mains, then you will be then you can see your name in the final list for sure. And if you are talking about this interview will not be there in your hands, because which type of questions they will be asking and which board will be interviewing you, so it is based on your luck. Okay, so because of that we have to leave this interview. So what's the thing that is present in your hands? That is mains. Okay, so if you are excelling or nailing this mains answer writing skills, then you can easily clear this. Okay, you easily clear this UPSC examination. For this, you need proper structuring of answer, and you need to know which content that should be added in that so and so question, and you need to understand the demand of question, and you need to follow the directives like comment, discuss, like that. So because of this, in this course we are giving weekly targets of your GS syllabus, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, along with essay and as well as case studies, so that only daily 1 question will be given for you, and it will be not a much burden for you to write single question a day, and you have to complete that weekly targets. And I will ensure you that within 1 year you are going to read each and every topic in your syllabus, and you will be writing answers as well. So in this way you will be improving your mains answer writing skills. And recently the new batch of this mains answer writing course, which mainly started in February 1st, so the registrations are going on, and by February 8th registration will be closed. And if you want to join, please join within this time limit. So this will be absolutely beneficial. And apart from that, we also launched this foundational course for your GS, UPSC, CSC, and here we are providing like more than 700 hours of video lectures, such that it will be very helpful to clear your concepts, because the trend of UPSC had been changed. They are not asking fact based questions, they are asking analysis based questions. To answer those questions, even in the mains and SS prelims, you need to understand the concept, and we are covering each and every subtopic that is present in your syllabus. Okay, so, and not only this, even if you want to join individual courses, that I already completed my foundational course, I want only the course of economy, geography, history, like that, you can take single courses also. So the details of this course are given in description box, so please visit that once. And if you go to our Rathod's IAS website, there you can watch 3 demo videos of each and every module, then you will be getting clarity. Okay, please watch those videos. And next one here is, if you want to talk to me directly, you can call to this number 8074765513. Okay, I am the academic director of the Rathod's IAS Academy. So you can talk to me, and if you have any doubts or queries, you can resolve your queries regarding these courses. Okay, and now let's come back and let us see today's question. Today's question is about fundamental rights. So first statement here is, which of the following fundamental rights are available only to the citizens of India but not the foreigners? So So this type of questions you can see in your prelims, and you can easily answer this question if you have completed your Lakshmikant or if you have watched my Lakshmikant videos series, right? And next question is regarding right to property. So actually now right to property is not a fundamental right. So there are statements are given here. I already gave a clue here. It is not a fundamental right now, right? So let me know the correct options for these two questions, and if you want to if any suggestions is required, so please let me know your suggestions in the comment box. So by this I am concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos, and don't forget to enroll to these courses. And if you want to download the app, link is also given in description. You can download the app of this Rathod's IAS Academy. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much.